You're 15, dragging a rusted Karcher across the patio to blast green algae off your grandma's concrete steps to save her $80 from the guy down the block. 22 years later, you're quoting $40,000 for a single industrial silo cleaning in Houston. Between those two moments sits a $3.1 billion industry, around 14,400 businesses, and roughly 51,000 workers who learned the same thing you did. That concrete is patient, water is a weapon, and the customer is paying you to make the ugly disappear. This is every level of pressure washing in America and what it actually costs to climb. If you like breakdowns of how careers actually progress, like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Level 1. The patio. You're 15. You haven't been paid for any of this. The Karcher K1700 is your grandma's, the extension cord is orange and frayed at the trigger end, and the $80 saved is what Hernandez Pressure Wash quoted her for a 200-square-foot patio. You watched a forest wash video on YouTube. The channel sits at 380,000 subscribers. The algae tutorial went up in spring 2022, and you took notes on the back of a Lowe's receipt. You set up a 5-gallon bucket on the lawn, mix in 32 ounces of sodium hypochlorite at 12.5%, $7.99 from Pool Supply Unlimited, and you cut it 3-to-1 with water. You add a half cup of Dawn Ultra as a surfactant so the mix clings. You pre-wet the hostas along the border because the video said, kill the bleach before it kills the plants. You apply low pressure with a pump sprayer from Harbor Freight, $14.99. You wait 6 minutes. The algae turns from green to ghost white in front of you. Then you rinse with the Karcher at 1,800 psi through a 25-degree nozzle, cleanest edge first, sweeping in 18-inch overlaps so the stripes don't show. You don't gouge the mortar joints. You don't blast the siding. At the end, you coil the hose, dump the bucket onto the gravel strip, and your grandma walks out in her slippers and stares for a full minute. She tells you it looks newer than the day they poured it. That's the first beat that lands. The patio is uniform gray in the afternoon sun, and you saved her $80. And somewhere between the second and third sweep, you understood that surface tension and dwell time matter more than raw PSI. Tomorrow, you ask the neighbor if her driveway needs doing. Level 2. The crew. You're 19, and a regional softwash franchise hired you. The job pays $17.50 an hour per Indeed listings in the Sunbelt, and the company runs a fleet of 14 trucks across 3 states with about 60 employees and a recurring residential maintenance program with 1,400 quarterly customers. You wear a navy polo and rubber boots. The boots stay wet from Tuesday to Friday. Your job is the ground crew. You unspool 200 feet of half-inch chemical line. You mix the batch tank, 50 gallons of 6% sodium hypochlorite cut with water, and a slug of apple wash for fragrance and surfactant. You pitch the upsell when the homeowner walks out. The annual maintenance plan is $480 a year. The single-service soft wash is $325. Your line is, the roof shingles last 6 years longer if we hit it every spring. 3 out of 10 say yes. You set up cones on the driveway. You tape off the gutters. You bag the downspouts so the chemical doesn't burn the lawn at the discharge. You run the 12-volt soft wash pump at 60 psi through a J-rod nozzle from powerwash.com. $48 for the 4-pack. You apply, you dwell, you rinse. The roof turns from black streaks to bone-clean shingle in 8 minutes. The customer pays $325 at the curb, and you make $17.50 that hour, and you do the math for the first time. Then you stop doing it. The crew lead is a guy named Diego, and last March he told the team at the morning meeting, "We don't sell PSI, we sell the result on the sidewalk." The recurring maintenance contracts generate 64% of the company's revenue. Recurring customers spend roughly 4 times what a one-time customer spends. You sign up 22 plans in your first quarter, and the owner learns your name. An anonymous review on Glassdoor out of Jacksonville says, "Summer days hit 104 and the chemical fumes don't quit." You learn that's true. You also learn that a crew lead promotion pays around $22 an hour, but adds Saturday rotations and on-call storm callbacks. You don't take it yet. You ask the guy who does commercial work for the same company what his day looks like. Level 3. The commercial account. You're 23. The company moved you to the commercial division, and ZipRecruiter's median for the role is $26 an hour across the Southeast. The division services 180 fast food locations on a quarterly rotation, plus 40 grocery anchors, plus the loading docks at 3 regional distribution centers. The company just landed a national QSR contract worth $1.2 million annually. You are part of how they did it. You wear a gray uniform with the company patch and a hard hat. The truck is a box-body Isuzu with a Hydrotek SK series hot water skid mounted in the back. 8 GPM at 3,500 PSI, around $14,000 new. A Burger King drive-thru pad comes off the schedule with a work order that says, full degrease, gum removal, dumpster pad sanitize, 90 minutes, before 5 a.m. The pad is glazed with 6 months of grease strip from the order window. You pre-treat with a butyl-based degreaser, Hotzi Bio 1, $189 for 5 gallons. You let it dwell 4 minutes. You run the hot water at 195 degrees through a 0-degree turbo nozzle. The grease emulsifies and runs to the trench drain in dark gray rivers. You pull a gum scraper out of the kit and chip 47 pieces of gum off the concrete in 11 minutes. You wring the dumpster pad with a surface cleaner, a Whisper Wash Big Guy 28-inch, $1,295 from Steambright. You finish the corners with a wand. You sanitize with a quat. You photograph the before and after for the account manager's report. You don't make book time. An anonymous commercial washer in Atlanta wrote on Reddit, "The night shift kills your back and the QSR managers always want one more thing for free." You read it on your phone in the truck cab and laugh once, flatly. 2 weeks later, a Chick-fil-A franchisee walks the lot at 5 a.m. and asks who did the work. The account manager points at you. The franchisee asks for your card. You don't have one. 2 months later, you do. The work is the same. You are not. You buy a used hot water skid off Facebook Marketplace for $4,200. Level 4, the solo operator. You're 27. You wrapped a used Ford F-250 in white with your logo on the door. You mounted a 5.5 GPM at 3,500 PSI hotbox skid. You carry a 325-gallon poly tank, and you have a stripe reader on your phone. A full residential soft wash and concrete package prices at $550 to $900 per the Power Washers of North America 2026 rate survey. You drive to the customer's driveway. You walk the property with the homeowner. They point at the algae stripe down the north side of the house and the rust bloom from the patio furniture. You drop containment mats at the storm drain because the EPA's NPDES program treats wash water with chemical residue as an illicit discharge, and the federal civil penalty ceiling sits at $59,114 a day as of 2025. You plug a recovery vacuum into the downhill curb. You run the soft wash at 60 psi on the siding. You switch to 4 GPM at 2,200 psi on the concrete. You spot treat the rust with F9 bark, $42 a gallon from Front 9 Restoration. The rust lifts in 90 seconds. The customer steps off the porch. What is that? You tell them, oxalic acid blend, fertilizer rust from the irrigation overspray. Their eyebrows go up. You finish the driveway with a 24-inch surface cleaner. You post-treat the concrete with a sodium hypochlorite mist to kill the spores at the root. You run the invoice through Stripe, $725. The customer pays. You post the drone shot to the neighborhood Facebook page at 7 p.m. By Wednesday, you have 5 more bookings. You also carry a Thimble general liability policy at $63 a month with a pollution rider, an LLC that cost you $50 to file in Florida. Texas charges $300. And a runoff rule in Chesapeake Bay watershed counties that requires reclaim on any job over 400 square feet. The SBA reports that 78.4% of new service businesses survive year 1. A guy named Hutch on the Power Wash Network forum, 30 years in the trade, wrote last spring, "Charge for the result, not the hour, and never apologize for the price." You write that down. You stop chasing the $200 driveways. The hotbox breaks in August. You buy a backup skid the same week. You don't post about it. Level 5, the specialist. You're 33. You took out an SBA 7A loan. You financed a custom-built trailer rig with twin 8 GPM hot water units, a 525-gallon buffer tank, 2 reels of 300-foot hose, and a generator-powered LED light tower for night work. You joined the United Association of Mobile Contract Cleaners, founded in 2003, around 600 active commercial members. You added a Mosmatic surface cleaner with stainless swivel, $2,340 from PressureTech. You added a Suttner ST2605 trigger gun rated to 10,800 psi, $245. You added a Cougar gum removal steamer, $4,500 from Goodway. You priced a full-service restaurant grease management plan at $1,800 a month, a single industrial parking deck strip at $8,500. The phone rings. It's a property manager for a 6-deck parking garage downtown. The tenants are complaining about the smell. You walk the deck under your light tower at 11 p.m. The concrete is 14 years old, never sealed, soaked through with hydraulic fluid and urine. You quote $42,000 for a full restoration over 3 nights. He doesn't blink. You spend 3 overnights inside that garage. You apply a sodium hydroxide pre-treat at 2% concentration, dwell 12 minutes, rinse at 200 degrees through Mosmatics on every level. You finish with a vapor steamer in the stairwells. You install a surface Hydrotek poultice on the worst oil stains, professional application only, distributed through certified restoration contractors. The brand requires a paid certification. The training runs about $1,400 for a 2-day course. There are roughly 240 certified surface Hydrotek applicators in the United States. There are fewer than 80 PWNA certified wood restoration contractors in the country. You are one of them. The property manager walks the deck on the 4th morning. The concrete is uniform gray under the sodium lights. He looks at it for a long time. He doesn't say anything. Then he says quietly, "Why does it smell like nothing?" Robert Hinman, who runs Above All Pressure Washing in Tampa, said it on a trade podcast. The customer is buying the absence of a problem. You did not compromise. The property manager pays. You watch the first cars roll in at 6 a.m. The deck looks new. It is not new. Level 6, the peak. There are pressure washers, and there is Thad Eckhoff. He runs Apex Service Partners and built Aquaduct Cleaning out of Boise. He founded his first operation in 2008. His training arm, the Pressure Washing Business Academy, has trained over 4,000 operators. His commercial client list is private. The project prices range from $2,000 for a strip mall walkdown to $40,000 for a single industrial silo or grain elevator exterior. He once spent 138 man-hours on the exterior masonry of a 22-story hotel before a 5-star reopening in Austin. The job took the Regional Building Service Contractors Association Award. He runs Hotzi Predator skids in custom Isuzu NPRs. He inspects with a moisture meter and a Tramex CMEX2, $695 from Tramex Direct. He seals with Prosoco Siloxane PD, application restricted to certified masonry restoration contractors. He recommends Surface Logic's penetrating sealer on parking decks, $4 to $7 per square foot installed. He told the Forest Wash podcast, "The second you compete on price, you've already lost the account." He doesn't post pricing. He answers select inquiries through his ops manager. The shop has a climate-controlled chemical room, a polished concrete floor, and a single trailer mid-build for a county jail contract that runs 3 years. The waitlist runs into Q3. You started kneeling on a patio with a Karcher and a bucket of bleach for $80. He is closing a 6-figure annual contract on a fleet of municipal water towers. The work is the same, the conditions are not, the price is not, the expectation is not. He is what the ceiling looks like when you can see it. 3 frames. The first one. The Sunbelt Softwash franchise made 64% of its revenue from recurring maintenance plans last fiscal year. The route is a subscription, and you are the human inside the subscription. The second frame. The Mosmatic stainless surface cleaner runs quieter than the rented unit in the strip mall lot because Thad Eckhoff has more time, and the customer is paying for the time. The machine is the same machine, the minutes are not. The third frame. PWNA certified, Surface Hydrotek authorized, Prosoco approved, UAMCC member. Those are not awards, those are moats. The brand authorizes the contractor. The contractor charges what the authorization permits. That is the business. The orange Home Depot bucket from the patio. It's still on a shelf in Boise behind a wall of Hotzi skids beside a trailer mid-build for a municipal contract. He kept it. The wait list runs to Q3. The price for that contract is not posted. The work is the same. Everything else is the moat that is every level of pressure washing. So go back to the first one, the bucket, the patio, the Karcher. Look at it again. The work is the same. The conditions move. The minutes move. The price moves. The customer moves. You move, or you do not.